This next story is called Bones, and it's by me, Lesley Atherton. He stands slightly short of 6 feet tall, and would be taller were it not for the crooked shoulders and stooping gait which have affected him throughout his life, and more so in recent years. 6 feet is unusually tall for a man of his advanced age, and for a man of the age he lives in, some hundreds of years before this time of reading. His hair, once orange-red and lively, is now wiry and speckled yellow-white, patchy in texture, its thinner areas revealing brown patches under his leathered skin which extended its yellow crepe texture onto and over his angular cheekbones. His skeletal frame and face led the man whose name in another time, another place, and another life may have been Seth, though he is not even sure of that now, to be lifelong known as Skin and Bones, or just Bones. He has lived alone in the stone-built hovel, tending a few scant vegetables and herbs since he was a youth of just 15 years old. It is the home his parents birthed him in, and he'd been comfortable making his poor livelihood from the same place. Certainly it is a small home, standing on its own land, but the lands are worthless, infertile, weed-infested parts, suitable only for sheep and the most basic of vegetables. Bones would scavenge from the woods and fields and make a meagre livelihood, creating potions from his finds, skills he'd both learned and inherited naturally from his mother. Bones chose never to marry, or perhaps that decision chose him, he having no title, no monies, no charm, and the most unusual of looks. The solitary life is his destiny, his choice, and his prison too. For Bones has left the hamlet just twice in his unusually long life. Such static lives are not unusual in his time of living, and Bones, if asked, would have confessed to never having even considered that life might be possible outside the bounds of Graves Hill. Standing on the higher part of his land, if he chooses to lift his head up from his ground staring, he will see fields and settlements all the way to the horizon, and it is there at the line in the sky that the world ended for Bones. He doesn't ever consider or desire to view what lies past that boundary, though he accepts when his few visitors, calling for potions to control head pain or gangrenous limbs, tell him of their lives and their visits to places far from home. He forgets their tales as soon as they're told him, irrelevant fairy stories that they are. In short, Bones is, and always was, acceptingly ignorant of opportunity and life outside his own experience. He follows no fashions, dressing in handmade garments, the only clothes he owns, which have become increasingly tattered over the years. Style means nothing to him. His beard, as tangled and patchy as his head hair, covers his thin mouth, which in turn covers rotting teeth, those chipped and blackened stumps which cause him pain when chewing, and which slowly decay within his mainly mute mouth. The only sounds to pass his lips, other than involuntary grunts of mastication and defecation, are the simple instructions he gives his callers, though they are now few. Even for a man apart from community and their rules, and a man known as a purveyor of herbs and potions, he is feared and despised as a madman, madder than all other madmen. The life of Bones is ebbing away, due to extreme old age, malnourishment, and a number of tumours. Some are discernible from the outside of his body, hidden between bony protuberances, but others, buried inside his frame, prevent his eating and drinking any more than the bare minimum for his continued existence. He is, in recent days, unable to move from the inner sanctum of his home, so pained are his limbs and so weary are both his body and spirit. But Bones accepts this, and will not cry out for help. He lies on his filthy floor, knowing he will pass away into the straw, and when not found will decay, as did all the other bodies of dead creatures, including both his parents. Either that, or be discovered and eaten as fresh, if sparse meat, by wild, carnivorous beasts. And Bones is ready. Bones is ready.